Hey, welcome back to the channel. What we're going to do next is we're going to actually start working on the stab. The stab and the rudder, the vertical stab and the rudder. And so I took my board here, I just had my nail gun, I just shot it down to the table so it's nice and flat. Everything is fitting nice and flat on it. I'm using the Western hemlock that I had for the spars, and I've got my lamination here that I made already for the leading edge. And then we've got some material. We got some material ready to go for the in-between pieces. So we'll just kind of get set up here and figure out how we're going to do this. It's just going to take, I've got a lot of angles to cut, and I've sort of worked out the angle. So I've taken the bottom piece and I just marked kind of on the side here, on the side where it's going to go, and I've set my pencil down somewhere. There we are. So the first order of business is just get some parts cut here. It's gonna, when I cut this, I'm probably gonna cut outside the line, but we'll take this over to the sled, which I've got set at 34 degrees, and we'll be able to cut that, cut this one off, and then we'll see. We'll see how the bottom fits, and then we'll move on to the next piece, which will be up at the top, and we will go from there. 72. So 90. That's about 18. All right. All right. So that one worked out to 18 degrees. We got this one right here, that one right there, and I'm just a little bit long, so I gotta just take a touch more off, but 18 degrees is correct. So we use some good math there. Just gotta take a hairline off, about a pencil line. Let's see how this plays out here. Actually, maybe I won't. This actually looks just right here. Alright, let's cut this off here. Alright, so I went ahead and cut the bottom to the right angle, so we can just go ahead and get this thing kind of put in place. So it goes right there, and that would be nice and smooth there. Now, I did make a mistake, which I want to point out to you. I left this piece a little bit short. Not on purpose, of course, but if I had to choose between where I wanted to put the filler, it's going to be on the top. So you can see I fell a little bit short here. So what I'll do is I'll actually end up just filling this little gap right here, and with a piece of wood. And for that, I'll just use a solid piece in there, and then it once you get up to the top, you've got your plywood that comes across there, and it won't cause any issue at all. And so I will take care of that mistake. So yeah, I just needed to be a little bit longer, and I didn't plan from the corner to the very top side very well. It would have been easy to just make it just a little bit longer, but I didn't. So but rather than go through making this all again, I don't like to waste wood. I'll just fill that in with a solid piece. It'll be all good. So okay, yeah, let me get back to it. All right, so this part is just a whole bunch of testing and fitting. You know, I've got you know, this was 34 degrees down here. This is 18 degrees here. We've got something different here, and then we've got 34 degrees at the front. So it's just working out the angles and kind of getting everything positioned where it needs to be. And what I decided to do here on the very top is I'm actually using I'm just using a solid block that comes all the way across the top rather than trying to fill in that little gap. This is a much better idea. So I will give you a glimpse of that here in a minute. What I'm going to do now is I keep having to shift things around a lot. So what I'm going to do is actually get some blocks in place so that I don't lose track of where these are all going. So let me grab my blocks. All right. I'll just put a bolt through here. Get the anchor nut screwed down. Two of those. I do need to check the anchor nut. I think these screws, this hole just needs to be drilled out just a touch to fit the screws. So should be. Let's see if that fits. Not quite. Now I just got to get some pilot holes for our screws here. All right, so I got all that laid out, and I'll show you here. And then I grabbed my all of my material here, all my gusset material, and so I laid out my gussets where they go. And so now the thing to do is, whoops. So now what I have to do is I've got to prepare these, I got to prepare the gussets. They get basically all of their sides get beveled all the way around, and so we'll get all of these beveled, and we'll get then underneath everything's ready to epoxy in place. I've got my blocks in place that hold everything together. Then we just have to sand the back of these cross grain to get the shininess off of them so that they epoxy well. And then I'm going to go along here and I'm going to mark their location so I know where to put epoxy when it's time. And then we'll get this thing epoxied together, and I think that will make for a really good day. So okay. Let's do that. All right. All right, so I got all my parts beveled. You can see they're nice and smooth on the top, and then I took some sandpaper and just smoothed out these corners. And now they're sanded on the back, and so they're ready to go on. So now all I got to do is mix up some epoxy. I've got my wax paper underneath all of my locations. I got to scoot this one over just a little bit. This section right here actually gets a little corner block. I didn't want to forget that before I put this number 4 on. So yeah, so I've got everything laid out, ready to go. Number 1 up here, and probably before we're done, I'll add a little weight just on these, because there's just a slight bow in these this way, so not much, but just a little bit of weight on top will take care of that. And yeah, so let me mix up some epoxy, and then we'll get this put together. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Another really good day. We got the trim mechanism in place here. Obviously, it won't move that far, but I like the position. I like where it's at. It feels really good. It's got nice tension on it. So that when the throttle's all the way back, it's just a little drop off the throttle, pick up the trim, real easy. So I'm happy with that. And we got this vertical stab all put together. So at least we got the first half of it. We got to flip it over and put the gussets on the other side. But yeah, so that's in place. The nuts are in there, and everything looks super good. So I'm gonna put some weight on it. I've got some of my weights here just to hold it down while the epoxy cures, and then next time we'll flip that one over, put the gussets on the other side, and then we'll start working on the rudder. All right, so yeah, if you're not a subscriber, I invite you to hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you don't miss any of my episodes. And hey, I'll catch you later. All right.